Welcome to this video, which is titled Enlightenment and Causation. I just want to take a few minutes to explain to you what is enlightenment and what is causation. Enlightenment is a state of a person who attains the non-dual perception of reality. This is the simplest explanation we can give. And causation is a process wherein every cause results in an effect. And this is a sequence that proceeds. And fundamentally today, both from science and philosophy, we know that causation is the root cause of the process of complete evolution of all reality today. From some spiritual perspectives, an enlightened person is seen as being beyond the cycle of cause and effect and free from constraints of karma. This view holds that an enlightened person has a deeper understanding of the nature of reality and is no longer bound by the limitation of the physical world. From other spiritual perspectives, the concept of causation still applies to an enlightened person, but in a different way. For example, an enlightened person may still be subject to the laws of cause and effect, but is able to act in such a way that their action have a positive impact and lead to greater understanding and harmony. In either case, the idea is that an enlightened person has a different relationship to causation than someone who is not enlightened and is able to navigate the world in a more enlightened and positive way. However, the exact nature of this particular relationship will depend on individual spiritual tradition and beliefs. So today in this video, I would like to deal with the definition of enlightenment from a Zen understanding. This is a story which is recited to bring out this point. Once, when Hyakujo, a great Zen master, delivered lectures, an old man attended them unseen by the monks. At the end of each talk, when the monks left, so did he. One day, he remained after they had gone, and hyakujo asked him, "Who are you?" The old man replied, "I am not a human being, but I was a human being when Kashyapa Buddha preached in this world. I was a Zen master and lived on this mountain. At that time, one of my students asked me whether or not an enlightened person is subject to the laws of causation. I answered him, the enlightened man is not subject to the law of causation. For this answer, evidencing a clinging to absoluteness, I became a fox for 500 rebirths, and I am still a fox." This particular part of the story needs an explanation. The desire to have an enlightened state itself is a clinging, is an attachment. This is a state which is still not in its absoluteness. Hence, you cannot say that an enlightened person is purely devoid of causation. So then the story continues. So he said, "Can you answer this question for me? Is the enlightened man subject to the law of causation?" Hyakujo said, "The enlightened man is one with the law of causation." A beautiful answer. At the words of Hyakujo, the old man was enlightened. "I am emancipated," he said, paying homage with a deep bow. "I am no more a fox, but I have to leave my body in the dwelling behind the mountain. Please perform my funeral as a monk." Then he disappeared. The next day, Hyakujo gave an order through the chief monk to prepare for a funeral of a monk. No one was sick in the infirmary, wondered the monks. What does our teacher mean? After dinner, Hyakujo led the monks out around the mountain. In a cave with his staff, he poked out the corpse of an old fox, then performed the ceremony of cremation. That evening, Hyakujo gave a talk to the monks and told them this story about the law of causation. An enlightened person ceases to experience duality. This is the story. Now, ultimately what you have to take from it is that even the term enlightenment Unless one moves away from an absoluteness of non-attachment to the desire of being enlightened, he still is subject to the laws of causation. This is an absolute state, the purest state of consciousness. And hence, this is the moral of this particular story. Thank you for watching and listening, and have a great life.